Hey guys, Spot here. So this is something new I'm trying with the channel that I want to do, like a little bit of variety in between all the book talks, because I know it can be tiring to see the same content all the time. But keeping in the theme of talking about books and media, and especially fanfiction, which I really want to get more into with my channel. So this video is not going to be for the kiddos. I mean, I generally use foul language all the fucking time in my videos, but this one in particular gets into like discussions of sexual content that maybe kids should not be exposed to. So first is Alpha, Beta, Omega. Oh, first I should probably explain what the different tiers are. So S tier I'm going to classify as if I see this in a fic, I am picking it up. Like, immediately, because it's a trope I love. A tier is, it's a bonus if it has it, but it's not gonna make me immediately pick up the book or fic unless it has something else going on. B tier is take it or leave it. I don't really have, it doesn't make a fic immediately something I want to read, but it's not something that's going to have points against it either. C tier is generally I don't like the trope, but it's not a deal breaker, and D is for deal breaker. So first up, Alpha, Beta, Omega. I'm gonna put it in B tier because I have not really gone into this kind of genre of fic, although I really respect it for how many stories people are able to tell with it, and I think I do want to read more of it and form more opinions of it, but also because it's so diverse, it's really hard for me to say whether it's immediately gonna be a top ranking or lower ranking one, because there's just such a variety, it's hard to put into a box. So B tier. Amnesia fic. Yeah, it's like hovering between B and C. I'll put it in C because it's kind of a, like, I see it all the time in movies and it annoys me, and I haven't read a whole lot of fics with amnesia, but when I'm looking for a fic, amnesia is something that puts me off of it because I find it a little bit frustrating. I wish I could, like, word better. I don't know. Angst. I am an emo trash. I love angst. I know that's probably not like a proper opinion to have. I know a lot of people say angst is overdone, and like, I don't know, I like feeling emotions, and generally, I don't know, I'm a huge sucker for angst because I'm an angsty person. Arranged marriage. D tier. I don't like it. I don't like when people's agents, like, a lot of arranged marriages end up with the people falling in love with each other anyway, and I don't know, it's just very weird to me. Probably some Freudian reason. Baby fic. Babies are cute, but I don't like that babies are the default ending to a romance arc. However, babies are cute, so I can take it or leave it. Sharing a bed. Fuck, I'm so touch-starved. Bang or die. That gets into like non-con or dub-con territory. That's non-consensual or dubious consent. I mean, like, I have to be in a specific headspace to want that, but generally, I mean, it's not a deal breaker, so. Body swap. That's a fun trope. I like when surreal things happen. It's one of those that, like, when I see it in TV shows, it's fun. Generally, it's even more fun when people do it in fan fiction, because there's just no holds barred. I don't know, it like brings out different sides of characters, and that's something I love about fan fiction. So actually I moved up to A tier. I mean, sometimes it's it's not a fetish that I'm into, and sometimes it's a fetish thing, but in general, it's fun. Coffee shop AU. Honestly, I like a little bit more conflict in my fics, and I don't know. I, like, generally don't read something just because it's a coffee shop AU. I feel like they generally tend to be a little too cozy for me. I have to be in a very specific mood to want something cozy. College AUs are fun. I miss college. That's totally biased on my part. I wish I could redo college. So that's like wish fulfillment for me. Fucking love crack fic. I love when people just get absolutely unhinged with their concepts. It's a lot of fun. Crossover, yes. Fucking love crossovers. I have talked about this at length before. I love when two different universes collide and how they contrast with each other, how they build off of each other, how different characters react to completely new situations they would never have experienced in the canon of the show. There's just a lot. It's fun. I like dark fic, not all the time, but I've been getting into it more and more as I get older and I guess less of a wimp. Because I used to hate it. I used to only want fluff, and then I got to be I used to hate dark fic when I was in my Jesus freak phase because I thought it was satanic and stuff, but now I like it. I the same way I got into metal. I like exploring the dark side of the psyche. It's fun. Sometimes it can be a little too bleak. I genuinely like to have a little bit of hope in my dark fic, but I think people get really creative and really philosophical with it, and I like it. Major character death. See, in canon it would be a B tier, but in fanfiction, because people tend to really get into the characters' psyches and how they react to things intimately, I'm gonna put in A tier. Along with dark fic, I have to be in a specific mood to want to read it, but I think it's interesting to explore how that death affects the dynamic of the canon characters and how they deal with it and how they process it, how different events change. Isn't canon divergence like basically all fanfiction? I like when people play with canon. Sometimes I like when things just follow canon directly and like just fill in gaps, but it's really fun when people play with stuff. Enemies to lovers, there's so much of it and such a wide variety of quality that I have to put it in B tier. It can be a really fun trope, but it's also a little bit like, I don't know. I don't like when they go straight from absolutely hating and wanting to kill each other to being like mushy and in love with each other. The reason I like enemies to lovers is I love when they kind of keep the enemy dynamic, but it becomes just more affectionate. Like, that's the specific type of enemies to lovers I like, but I can never be sure if that's what I'm gonna get in the story, so it's a B tier. Established relationship. I guess that means just canon relationship? And yeah, it depends on how it's handled. Fairy tale AUs are fun. That's, I guess, kind of ties in with crossover, that it's like seeing characters in new situations, and fairy tales are really old stories that were the originators for a lot of tropes, so I think it's neat to see people play with that. Fake relationship. I don't like when relationships are built on deception. I don't know. I just don't vibe with it. Fix it fix are like why I got into fanfiction in the first place. I was like, well, part of the reason I got into fanfiction. I don't know, I got really into Fix It Fix after Voltron. Voltron really Game of Thrones their ending before Game of Thrones did. So, I'm really gonna have to talk about one of my favorite alternate Voltron ending fics in my next video, I think. Now I have an idea for my next video. Now I'm gonna track down that fanfiction again. I'm a sucker for fluff. It also varies in quality. So it goes in A tier. I mean, everything can vary in quality, but I don't know, like, it's a balance between fluff and darkness for me. It's the balance for me. Friends to lovers is like almost the default of how a lot of relationships go. I mean, you have to have a good solid friendship before you can have a good solid relationship, in my opinion. So it's kind of standard to me. Gen fic, that's like general audience, are not really like sexual. I don't care whether they're smut or not. Well, I mean, it depends on like my mood, let's say, whether I care if they're smut or not. But when it comes to like in general, that's not why I generally read fanfiction. Like, I don't just read fanfiction for the smut. I love Hurt and Comfort. Oh my god. Oh my god, yes. I am such a sucker for Hurt and Comfort. That's definitely me projecting some of my own issues, but you know what? Every person who likes Hurt and Comfort does that. Historical AU. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read a whole lot of it. High school AU is fun as well. That goes in A tier. This high school is so rife with drama. You can do fun things with it. I'm touch starved. Total for Warmth definitely goes in A tier. Somebody please hug me. I mean, you gotta have humor. I've never seen that as like an actual tag, but yeah, if there's no humor in the story, generally it's not something I enjoy. In Vino Veritas, Drunken Confession. That's fun. That's a fun trope, especially in fanfiction. That's something that, like, in original fiction, it's but in fanfiction it's really fun. Because characters in original fiction, like, in the original story, will often just not fucking tell anyone anything. So, it can be cathartic in fanfiction when the character actually says what's on their mind. First kiss, it depends on the kiss, depends on a lot of things. I love magic, I love superpowers, So when somebody who's not normally magical gets magic powers, that's really cool. Seen it done well. I've seen miscommunication done well. But it's also something that's just a really tired trope to me, so I'm gonna put in C tier. Not a deal breaker, but not really a bonus either. Missing scenes. That's fun. I like when they fill in the gaps. That's fun. Mutual pining. Isn't that just every fanfiction? Like every romance fic? I'm gonna put in B tier because sometimes it can get a bit much. It often gets a bit much to me, but it can be a very fun trope. Sex pollen gets into non-con, dub-con territory, which, I've read like some fics where they try to deal with the consent issues, but I don't know if they do well. If there's other things going on in the story, then it's not bad, but I don't know. Pregnancy and childbirth is like one of my worst fears. I don't like it. Plot with plot or porn without plot? I read porn for the plot. I mean, I like smut, but I also like when it has context. Even if it's just like a little bit of context, I like context. Royalty and like court and all that is boring to me, and I know I'm going to get like flamed hard for that if this video gets any views at all, but that goes in C tier. Like borderline D tier, honestly. I don't care about rich people. I'm sorry. Slow burn is definitely A tier. I love slow stories. I love slow, boring stories where things take their time to develop. I hate insta-love so much. Soulmate AU is insta-love, so that goes C tier. I mean, there's some cute concepts and interesting concepts with the Soulmate AU when they really get into world building, but I haven't seen people really get into world building. If you know of any Soulmate AUs where they actually get into the implications of it beyond just the cute pairing, send them my way, because that'd be really interesting. Time loop. Oh my god, time loop gets like dark and sad, and yes. At least the ones I've read get dark and sad. It's fun watching characters figure it out and like figure out the puzzle. Unless the love triangle ends in polyamory, that's D tier. I'm so sick of love triangles. They just feel so contrived, even in fanfiction. The unhappy ending really depends on why it's unhappy. I think sometimes people get a little too cruel with their unhappy endings. And unrequited love, I've like had enough of them in my real life. That's I remember there was this trope a while back where if your love was unrequited, you like blue flowers grew out of your mouth or something. That led to some interesting art. That was certainly a time. I wish I knew the name of that trope because that was real weird. The unrequited love is just like a little melodramatic and a little bleak for me. Unless the character like does a good job of moving on from it. I don't know. So that's my tier list. didn't have as many in S tier as I thought I would. I thought I'd be a bit more optimistic, but that's a way more balanced tier list than I thought I'd have. So, what do you think? Are my opinions trash? Probably. Let me know. Roast me. At least it gets me engagement in this channel. So, obviously if you like this video, leave a like. Like I said, roast me in the comments, and if you want to see more like this, subscribe, because I want to do more of these. They're fun.